Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on this Intro to Klipfolio Workshop. Today, we're going to cover anything related to how to get you started with Klipfolio. My name is Exequiel, and I work with the success team, just making sure that our customers are being successful with our platform, showing you all the different tools and features that we have to offer you. I'm going to start by showing you the main screen of the dashboard. So here you're going to see this blue bar where you're going to see the titles of the different dashboards that you have created in the past. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start from left to right, and we're going to go and explore all the different features that you see on the top side of the screen. So the first one is going to be the dark theme and light theme mode. So every time that I'm working on a dashboard, if I click the dark theme mode, you're going to see that the screen will change colors. If I have, let me take a look at a dashboard that I've built in the past. For example, you'll be able to see how the colors look quite vibrant. So now let's take a look at the light theme mode. And there you have it. So I'm going to start with the new dashboard. So what I'm going to keep showing you is the different features at the top, and then we're going to dive deeper into building some dashboards. Second, we're going to take a look at the full screen mode. Every time I click full screen mode, I have the ability to play my dashboards, and it'll go dashboard by dashboard as a slideshow, showing you all the different dashboards that you have created. This is a great feature if you want to explore all the different dashboards on the big screen. If I pause it, the dashboards will stop moving, and I can go back and click on those 4 arrows again, and it'll bring me back to my home page. The My Dashboards tab allows me to always go back to the main screen where I'm going to have all the different dashboards that I have built. The library, it's where I'm going to keep all my resources. So right here, I'm going to have, if you take a look on the left side of the screen, I will see my dashboards. So how many dashboards I have created. Second, I'm going to see clips, how many clips I've created and how many clips I imported from the gallery. And third, your data sources. So here's where you're going to have all the different services that you're connecting to and all the different data sources that we're going to be using to build our dashboard today. Second, I'm going to be moving to users. Users are going to be those that are going to have access to the Klipfolio account. You can have different types of users with different roles. As you can see here, I have 2 users that I've created. One is the with administrator role, and the second one is a view only role. So let's take a look at the different roles. On the screen, you can see that there's 3 types of roles that you can have. The first one is the admin role. This role allows you to manage anything that is related to Klipfolio. You can change the billing information, you can change the account holder, you can change the name of the company that's associated with Klipfolio, as well as making any changes to the dashboard. The editor role will allow you to create and edit as well as share any of the dashboards and clips that you have created in Klipfolio, but it will not allow you to make any administrative changes, such as, for example, adding new users. Last is the view-only user role. This will only allow you to view the dashboards, but it will not allow you to do any customization to what you're seeing on the screen. We also have groups. These groups will allow you to organize your dashboards in a way that you will limit people to see what you want them to see. So for example, if you have 3 types of groups, you can have the marketing group, you can have your sales group, and you can also have your success group. In each group, you will have different dashboards. So maybe you don't want the sales dashboard that shows all the finances to be shared with the marketing group. So that way, by having different groups, you're limiting access to those dashboards that people are going to be seeing. Last, how do we add a new user? If you go back to the user tab, you will see this orange button on the right hand side. If I click on add a new user, I have the ability to add it. All we require is the first name and last name and an email. This email has to be valid because we will email them a password for them to set up. Also, you will have the membership type, which will allow you to select what type of group you want them to have. And last and most important, the role, because this will allow them to have access to the dashboard and the limitations that you want to add to that user. Another feature that I will not go into it in too much detail is going to be the client management feature. This feature, it's great if you're a marketing agency or if you have clients that you're building dashboards for them. This allows you to, again, provide dashboard solutions to your clients. But if you're using the Klipfolio account as an internal tool, then you will not need this feature. And you probably don't have it turned on your account. Next, I'll be moving into the settings of your account. I'm going to click on my name, and then this will give me the access to the account settings. Once I click on account settings, you're going to see different tabs. So the first one is pretty straightforward. Here it's all my account information. Here's where I can change my password and I can change the different memberships that I've created. Second, in company, I will have the name of my company. I will have the ability to purchase the platform, or if you want to make any billing changes to your account. On settings, you're going to have the option to change the branding of the page. So for example, if I want to remove the Klipfolio logo for this account, all I have to do is go into the branding and themes. I can edit it. And now I have the ability to change it. I'm going to change this account to my company name, which in this case, I'm just going to keep it as company. And now I can change in here the account name, which will allow me to have that name on the top left corner of the screen. I'm going to go ahead and apply the changes. And now when I go back to the main dashboard, I will be able to see that the company has changed. So before I had the Klipfolio logo, and now I have my company name. I can also change it by clicking this edit button right to the right side of that logo. Let's go back to those settings. And now let's take a look at usage. Under usage, you'll be able to see any event logs that you might have. You can also take a look at the refresh history for all your data sources. Last, connected accounts. Here is where I'm going to have saved all the tokens for the different accounts that I've connected to. So in this example, you can see that I'm connected to Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, Salesforce, among others. Once you select the different accounts that you are connecting to through the library, here you're going to be able to keep that token saved so that if in the future you want to reconnect to those accounts, you don't have to retype your username and password. It will just authenticate it by using the token saved in connected accounts. So now let's go back to the main screen, and now let's start building something in Klipfolio. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new dashboard. And I can do that by just going into this blue bar and clicking on the plus button. This will give me the option to add a new dashboard. And there's two ways I can add a new dashboard. I can either add something from the dashboard gallery, which is pre-built content, or I can customize and add a dashboard from the library. But I'm going to start by building something from the gallery. So let's go ahead and click more in here, which will open up a window with all the different dashboards that I can build. You can see that it will also show the data source that requires for that particular dashboard. And if I keep scrolling down, I'm going to see also different types of dashboards. So I can have a social media dashboard, I can have a Google Analytics web performance dashboard, a Facebook post engagement, and so on. For this example, I'm going to be using the social media command center. I'm going to go ahead and get this dashboard by clicking on the blue button at the bottom of the dashboard. And what it's going to do is going to bring the dashboard into my account. And you can see it now. I'm in my account and it has added that social media command center dashboard. The next step is connecting my data. All I need to do is go ahead and connect your data in the orange button. Once I click here, it will start to authenticate by taking that token that we mentioned before, and it's going to go by one in all the different clips and authenticate them. So let's go ahead and do the first one, which is going to be connecting to Twitter. I'm going to select next. And in this case, it's asking me to tell them what my Twitter handle is. If I don't remember, I can just skip this clip and move on to the next one. Once the token is authenticated, I can update the clip and you will see that the number has now changed. So now it shows that I have 627 followers in my Instagram account. And I can see that it's mine because it has my name on the top of the logo of the Instagram account. You can do that with all the different accounts. Keep in mind that for Facebook and LinkedIn, you do need to have a professional account, which means that you can connect to the account that you have for your company, but you will not be able to connect to your personal account. We do not connect to Facebook personal accounts, and we do not connect to LinkedIn personal accounts. Once I have connected all my data sources, then the dashboard is ready to be shared. Now I can start using and tracking all the different metrics for this social media command center. Now I'm going to add a new dashboard in here, but this time I'm going to add this dashboard from the library. I'm going to go to the left side of the screen and I'm going to add a blank dashboard. And what we're going to do here, we're going to add different types of clips. So the first step will be to start with a clip. I'm going to add my first clip by clicking on this blue button. Once I click on it, I will have three options to add clips. I can either add a clip from my library, which means it's a clip that I have already built in the past. I can also add a clip from the gallery, which this will allow me to grab a clip that it's already pre-built by Klipfolio, and all I need to do is connect my data. Last, I have the ability to build a custom clip, which we'll also explore today in this webinar. So let's just start by adding something from the library. Once I click my clips, then I'll be able to see all the different clips that I built. And as you know, we just connected our Instagram account. So why don't we go ahead and we add that to our new dashboard. I'm gonna click on the plus button, and then I'm gonna go all the way down and press done. And there you have it. Now I have my first clip in this custom dashboard. Now we're going to name this dashboard. So I'm going to go back to the top where I have new dashboard. I'm going to click on the three dots, and now I'm going to have the ability to rename this dashboard. So this dashboard, I'm going to call it Intro to Klipfolio. So now that I have that Intro to Klipfolio, I will select outside of the box and automatically will save that name. So why don't we add another clip to this custom made dashboard? Let's go ahead with the add a new clip. And now instead of adding something from the library, let's add something from the gallery. For this example, I'm going to be using, maybe we can take a look in Google services. So if I start typing Google, I can see that all my Google services are starting to come up. I can go ahead and select Google Analytics. And within Google Analytics, I can take a look at a grid with different types of clips that I can add to my dashboard. So maybe I'm interested in tracking where those sessions are coming from. So what region and what part of the world are my visitors visiting from? So let's go ahead and add this to the dashboard. I'm going to click add to dashboard. And once I have the green light, I can go ahead, press done. And now I'll be able to see that I have that clip added to my dashboard. The next step, once again, is to connect my data. So I'm just going to go ahead, connect my data. I'm going to press next. And this will ask me to select the different accounts that I have. In this case, this is just an example that I've created to be able to showcase this clip. It's going to gather the data that I need to update the clip. And once it's been updated, I can just click finish. And now I can see where all my visitors are coming from. I can also expand this and make it a bit bigger by just dragging it by clicking at the bottom right corner. And then once I make it bigger, it's a lot easier to see. This clip also gives me the ability to change how often I want to see my data. So perhaps I want to see the last 7 days. How many visitors did I have? I will have to select the 7 days, press the apply button, and that will change the data in my clip. I can also go back as far as maybe this year. How many people have visited my website? I'm going to press apply. And once that changes, you can see how many people have visited your website. So this is how you can build a clip from the gallery, adding your own data. The last clip that we're going to be adding is going to be a custom clip. So let's go ahead and add a third clip. We added something from the library. We added a new one from the gallery. Now it's time to add a custom clip. So let's click on custom clip. And now I need to choose what component I want to build. And you can see that there is a palette of components that you can choose from, and you can select whichever one you want. If you select the wrong one, don't worry, we will have the ability to change it after once we are in the clip editor. For this example, I'm going to be using a value pair, which is going to be at the top of my list. I'm going to select this value pair. And if you're interested to learn how the other ones work, we do have another workshop called Build in Klipfolio, which explores all the different components and how you can custom build clips using different components. I'm going to be using an existing data source, and I'm going to show you after how to add a new data source. But for now, we're going to add something that we already have. So why don't we go ahead and we select this Google Drive data source that I have, order status drill down. I'm just going to select that, and that will bring me to the clip editor. So let me walk you through the clip editor so that you see what you have in here. At the bottom, you're going to have the data. You're going to have some properties which will change the way that you see your data, and you will have indicators which will allow us to change the information and add indicators based on the information that changes. On the right hand side, you're going to have the component palette again. As I mentioned before, if I click on this tab, I'll have all the components. I can grab a new component and drag it in the middle of my screen, drop it, and then now I have two. I have a table and I have a value pair. If I don't want this table anymore, I can just click in the corner in here and I can just remove from my visualization. So the middle of the screen is where your visualization will be, and the left side of the screen is where you're going to have your component tree. And here you're going to be able to select different parts of your component to bring your data in. So why don't we go ahead and we build our first custom clip. I'm going to start by selecting the value pair, and I'm going to select my first value. So for the first value, let's go ahead and take a look at my data. For the first value, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a very simple function, which is going to be the select function, which is very widely used. What I'm going to do with that select function is select a data in this table based on a condition. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be changing my first value, which I just want to change it to be a title. So if I want the title to be changed, I can change it, and it has to be in quotations mark. If I delete my quotations, I will have an error and the writing will turn red. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's go ahead and change it. And what we're going to do is we're going to see the number of units that we have in one particular city. So maybe let's take a look at how many units we have in Los Angeles. So I'm going to say that I want to know the number of units in Los Angeles. And I'm going to add a little dash in here. And once I press enter, I can see that the name of my clip has changed. So I'm going to expand this so that we can see it better. I'm going to go into my properties and I'm going to make some quick changes. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the middle of my screen. Maybe I just want it to be a little bit smaller, or maybe I want it to be quite big. Then I'm going to be changing the color to blue to add a little bit of character to my clip. You're probably wondering what's happening with this top title that we have here. If I click on my clip in here, I will be able to see that I can change that. I can also have the ability to completely remove the title from the clip, which we'll do in this case because we already have a title. For the second value, we're going to be using our select function to build this formula that will bring data based on a condition. So I'm gonna delete everything that I have in here in my data tab, and I'm gonna start by writing my select function. I can see that it's already auto-populating. I'm gonna click on it, and now I already have it. So now I need to build it. But you're probably wondering, how do we build this? The way that you're gonna do that is by going into the left side of that formula, and when you're gonna open the Help Center, which will tell you a little bit about what this function does, the different parameters that it uses, and you will be able to see an example for that formula. What we're going to do here is follow the formula and the function that we have in order to get the number of units only in LA. So the first condition, the first parameter, that I have is going to be my data. So let's go ahead and select our data. Our data is going to be our units because that is the information that we want to collect. So I'm going to be selecting my data as the number of units. I'm going to go ahead and add a comma, just the same way I see it in my example. And now I'm going to be adding a new condition. The new condition that I'm going to be adding is going to be to select only those units that were coming from LA or Los Angeles. So let's go ahead and select that condition, which is going to be column C for the different cities. And this has to be equals to Los Angeles. And once again, I'm going to put that in quotation marks. And once I have that, I can press enter, and automatically you can see that the two values for Los Angeles, 464 and 450, are showing on my screen. Let's go ahead and change that in properties as well. Let's bring it to the middle of the screen. Let's bring it and make it a big number. And now what we can do too is change the color to perhaps orange. And now I have the two numbers, the 2 units numbers that are coming from Los Angeles. However, if you would like to see a sum of all these units, I can go in my properties again, and I can show it as aggregated value, and that will change. I can do it as a count, I can do it an average, I can do a medium, like you choose the aggregation that you want. For this example, we're going to do a sum, and now you can see that it has sum up the 2 numbers that we had, 464 and 450, with a total of 914 units sold in LA. So let's go ahead now and save this clip. And for this one, I'm going to call it LA. That's going to be the title of my clip. I'm going to finish. And now that clip is going to be added to my dashboard. So now I have a clip that I built from scratch. I have a clip that I incorporated from the library and another one that I've incorporated from the gallery. Let's make this clip a little bit bigger if we really want to, and then we can have this 3 clips showing at the same time. If I go to the top, I can change the layout as well. I can customize this and make it a little bit bigger or make it a little bit smaller. So maybe I can just bring this a little bit smaller here. So now I'm going to bring this clip to the top. And you can see now how I have the 2 clips in here. I can customize it and I can drag this all the way to the right. And now I have my custom layout clips that will compose my dashboard in Intro to Klipfolio. So the next step, I'm going to be adding a new data source, and I'm going to be showing you how you're going to add a new data source. We're going to go to the library, and here's where you're going to see, as I mentioned before, all the different data sources coming into Klipfolio. So let's go ahead and create a new data source. I'm going to click on this orange button, which will bring me to the 2 different connectors that we can use. You can use survey connectors, which will allow you to select anything that we already have created that connection for you. So for example, we want to connect to Salesforce. I can start typing sales and I can see the Salesforce is there. If I click on it, I can select the different data that I want to bring, or I can build a custom made data source for Salesforce. Now, if you do not see the data source that you want to connect on this list, you can always use our core connectors. Here, you can connect to a service using a REST API, a SQL database, an FTP or SFTP database, and also you can do email attachments, or you can simply upload files from your computer. These are the different formats that we support. And once you have uploaded them into Klipfolio server, then we will keep them there and so that you can work with that data. If not, we can just use any of the other connectors to pull the data from those services into Klipfolio. There you have it. So now we go back to the home page and we can see the dashboard that we built. So we built two dashboards today. So the first one was the social media command center, which was a pre-built dashboard completely done by us simply connecting our data. The second one was a custom built dashboard that we selected from the plus menu in here, and we built by using clips from the library, clips from the gallery, and again, a custom clip. So now you're probably wondering what's next. So once again, you can join us for our Build in Klipfolio webinar that we run every week, where we dive deeper into how we can build all these custom clips using different components. You can also visit our help center. Here you have the ability to submit tickets if something is not working right. You can use the search engine to look for anything related to Klipfolio, and you can also chat with us live. If you click on the box at the bottom of the screen, you can start talking to us now, and we will be able to help you with anything that you want. Thank you for joining me today in this Intro to Klipfolio workshop. I invite you once again to join us for our Build in Klipfolio webinar so that we can teach you how we can, again, take the platform further and we can explore the tool. Thank you and have a great day.